Hey guys, I'm down here. This is going to be my chapter review to My Hero Academia or Boku no Hero Academia 242 Merry Christmas. Now, I'm going to say it straight. I don't usually like chapters like this, where we have some element of like a celebratory and seasonal kind of chapter. I don't really like them because usually they don't progress the story very much. Usually there's not much actually to the chapter. It's just like, yeah, Merry Christmas, woo, and everyone's kind of having fun. And all that good shit. And I'm just like, yeah, that's all well and good, but I don't read the manga to see these guys celebrate. And I want to see them getting their asses kicked. So, but this chapter was actually really, it was a solid chapter moving forward. And the way it ended at the beginning of the chapter, well, actually not at the beginning of the chapter, midway through the chapter, I was thinking, maybe Todoroki. Well, I wasn't thinking he'd offer anything, but I was thinking Bakugo can't go back to Best Genius, so maybe there'd be something there. And I completely forgot about the fact that Deku had no one to go to as well, so I wasn't like totally anticipating it, but I was thinking that Endeavor might play a part in these internships. So let's start with the chapter right at the beginning. So the heroes teaching at UA are questioning the headmaster. They're like, why have these internships been reinstated so suddenly? What the hell's what's going on down here? And the headmaster answers very kind of straightforwardly. He's just like, the internships were originally a self-implemented program between the school and various hero offices. We wanted to test the waters. We wanted to educate the kids a little bit more. It was more of a, not a gimmicky thing, but it was more just an educational piece. But now the Public Safety Commission has stepped in, and what they've demanded is that all hero students have to participate in on the job training. And you see that, what's his name, Blood. I've forgotten his name, but he's like, so we're being forced to do internships. And here is basically where Midnight, I think her name is like, they're admitting the Public Safety, what is it, Public Safety Association? Public Safety Commission. They're admitting that they're understaffed in this society that's supposedly saturated with heroes. And though I do agree with her to an extent, I'm like, yeah, there's got to be some element of being understaffed, seeing as, especially when Endeavor went to fight the high-end Nomu. He was kind of there by his onesies alongside Hawks, and what I think they're really trying to say, the Public Safety Commission, is not so much that they're understaffed, because they definitely are by the looks of things, and this is why they're forcing the kids to go through internships. But it's more along the lines of, in the current villain society, the current villain environment that we have today. They are forming groups. They are a part of either the League of Villains or another type of group, like they assumed this Deka City group was. They are very, very concerned about the fact that there are powerful villains all grouping together under one leader with one vision, one goal. This is incredibly dangerous to the hero society at large, who have been mostly kind of doing their own thing with their own agencies and stuff like that, fighting their own battles. So what they're trying to do is that they're trying to make sure that these kids are first prepared for these villains, but also that they have links with all these different varieties of heroes, so that when they get into these situations, they can call upon different heroes. They're trying to essentially knit together a lot of the heroes and trying to prepare the younger generation so that they actually... It's a really good strategy, to be fair. Maybe one they saw too late, but they're trying to prepare them for the current situation, the current environment, and that's the best way of moving forward, to be fair. So even though I do agree with Midnight that they are understaffed in this society saturated with heroes, they need more powerful heroes. They need more powerful heroes quicker, and they need powerful heroes who can work in tandem with one another and who have connections. So we then go to, what's his name, the teethy dude, and he says their objective is for students to learn how to cope with the organized villain groups, which have been on the rise recently. I agree with that. And the headmaster says here that the reason why they're being so ambiguous about why they're doing this is because they've obviously sniffed out some huge impending crisis, I assume maybe from some of the feedback from Hawks. And the ambiguity is because there's someone they don't want finding out about their plans, and the internship announcement feels like a message, maybe like a, Luffy ringing the bell, it's a change of the times kind of thing. And Aizawa brings up the point that they can't just tell everyone that, we're drafting the students into basically this whole-scale war that we're anticipating, because that wouldn't go down so well. But the headmaster makes a good point of, heroes preparing for crises. This is nothing new. let's reach out to some heroes with some good track records to prepare the kids. Then we get a conversation between the headmaster and I think one of the guys is a cop and one of the guys is obviously All Might. But they're talking about how they haven't really found any of the students in UA that has been acting suspiciously in regards to them being a League of Villains spy, and so far they've found nothing that would suggest any kind of association with the League of Villains. And All Might here is very kind of, he's very dedicated to the kids. He's like, all of the students in the UA hero class have a hero's heart. And I'm just like, yeah, I agree with that, but, that doesn't change the fact that there has to be a spy of some sort, right? There's still this underlying issue of a spy. And I like the fact that, who's the author again? Horikoshi has come back to this and not just kind of glossed over it and pretended it didn't happen. Like Nakaba. But, yeah, I really like the fact that, Horikoshi remembers the story he's telling. And at the very least seems to have this all planned out in bits and pieces. But in my opinion, I think he's planned it out very well, and I think he knows exactly what he's doing. So the headmaster asks if All Might is going to come back, and it's like, what, did you forget what day it is? It's Christmas. So we go to the kids over at UA, and someone in the comments actually mentioned this, but you see all the kids in this one panel here, and they're all wearing Christmas outfits and stuff like that, and you see that it's actually pretty cool. All their hats have something that relate to them in terms of their quirk or in terms of their character. So you see, for instance, what's his name? So Mineta has a black ball on his thingy, on his hat. You see Ida with the beard, but he's got an exhaust pipe at the back of his hat. Shoto Todoroki has a half black, half white bubble on the back of his hat. A bubble, sorry. And you see Jiro, for instance, has a musical note. Chaco has a planet, gravity. Suyu has a frog, because, frog. Kaminari has a lightning bolt, because lightning. And Bakugo is constantly just trying to walk out of the party, which I thought was funny. All the way through the chapter, he's trying to walk out of the party. And I think Yao Yorozu, I don't actually know what she has at the back of her hat. I can't really see it. And I won't mention the names of the kids that I've forgotten. And Deku, his bubble is just very messy, which is very reminiscent and very similar to his hair. So yeah, the kids are just all chilling. They're talking about the fact that they have to do internships again. They're talking about where they're probably going to go next. So Jiro is talking to Ochako, and she's like, yeah, I'll probably go back to Ryukyu, who was sick, by the way. I want to see more of Ryukyu, because she's a freaking dragon, dude. I mean, like, you can't get much better than that. Ida talks to Midoriya, speaks to Midoriya, and he's like, what are you going to do after, what happened to Night Eye, seeing he's quite frankly very dead? What are you going to be doing about your internship? And it turns out Deku has actually spoken to the people that took over for Night Eye. So he went to speak to Centipede, and they're just completely overwhelmed by the amount of work that they have to do in actually running a hero agency. So they cannot take Deku at this point in time, and Gran Torino couldn't take Deku on either. Chances are he's got a whole bunch of actual hero shit to be doing, so he can't do that. We then see Mina. She's all the way through this chapter. Her and Kaminari are trying to dress Bakugo in Christmas gear and Christmas outfits. They're trying to give him the Christmas coat and the Christmas hat. And Mina's telling Bakugo that this time around it's not really a choice of whether you want an internship or not. You have to internship. It's a formal assignment. So they're asking Bakugo whether he's going to go back to Best Jeanist, and we get back to this kind of plot point, which once again, thankfully, Horikoshi put into this chapter and is very aware of, is the fact that Best Jeanist is still missing. And we get this little flashback of Best Jeanist doing Bakugo's hair. He's like side parting it for him. Bakugo does not look like Bakugo apart from his eyes. And Best Jeanist is kind of just talking to Bakugo very calmly about, you didn't choose a proper hero name. Why is it just your name? And he asks him what types of names he came up with, stuff like Explosion Murder King, Explosion Murder, Explosion Murder Lord. And he's like, what the heck is wrong with you? Are you like 5 years old or something? So I like the fact that Best Jeanist here, very calm character. He's just, I like Best Jeanist. I mean, I haven't seen much of his quirk. I can't remember much of his quirk. But I like him as a character. He seems to be very calm, very tranquil. A very kind of opposite character to what we see in Bakugo, which would be good for Bakugo in the sense of to learn from that, because he's very explosive, very much like his quirk, very volatile, very angry all the time. And if he learned to just control himself a bit like Best Jeanist obviously has, it would do him wonders in terms of media conversations, in terms of just being a more controlled individual, and possibly attracting more fans and being more hero-like. And Best Genius here is just like, you know what, your name represents, your wish, who you want to be, who you want to become, what you're trying to achieve. You still aren't you're not thinking about that. And that's what he wants to show him. So he's like, once you've earned your provisional license and you've gone into your second year, come back to me and you can tell me your new name then. So maybe Bakugo has actually considered a new name, because you see the craziness drain out of his eyes as he considers this flashback with Best Jeanist. And I think he's I think concerned about Best Jeanist having gone missing. And then I'm also concerned about whether Best Jeanist has actually gone missing, because then that would be on Hawks, right? But we know that Hawks is a double agent, so he wouldn't really kill Best Jeanist. So where the hell is Best Jeanist? He must be hiding somewhere as part of like this government scheme or something. But yeah, I like the fact that Bakugo's Christmas hat is also like an explosion bubble kind of thing. But yeah, so we get Bakugo's basically being told that, you've had plenty of offers from the sports festival, you can go wherever you want. And he's like, he doesn't want to go to a no name at this stage in the game. This is where Todoroki, he's considering something, and you're just like, okay, what's going to happen? And at this point, I thought, maybe at least Shoto, at the least, and Bakugo, maybe they could go to Endeavor, and I completely forgot about Deku. We'll come back to that. So Mineta then starts screaming. He's like, yo, dudes, like, it's Christmas, what'll happen? Silent Night, all that shit. And what's his face? Sugar Man, I've forgotten his name. He's baked a turkey by the looks of things, and they're getting all Christmassy. And this is the part where the chapter gets real cutesy. We get Aizawa bringing in Eddie, and she's dressed in this like little Christmas skirt. Well, little Christmas skirt. It looks quite heavy, to be fair. And she's got a Christmas hat on. She's like trick or treat, and she's getting the wrong holidays all the way through the chapter. And she does look super cute. Like her horn's gotten a little bit larger actually. I think Deku even makes mention of that. But she gets Halloween there, and then she gets this other holiday. I think it's called Setsubun or something. Yeah, Setsubun, which is more about coming into spring. I think it is. Yeah, the start of spring. And she's saying demons out, demons in, where it's meant to be like demons out, fortune in. And Mirio is spending his time with his class and all that good shit. But then we come to really the end of the chapter where everyone's kind of conversing, everyone's having fun, everyone's eating. Everyone's just munching down. Presents are going all over the place. We see once again Bakugo is just trying to walk away from the party. All the way through this chapter, you just see in the background Mina and Kaminari, I think it is, trying to dress Bakugo, but also Bakugo trying to walk away from the party, which is pretty funny. I think we see here Deku actually giving a present to Ochako, which is just setting up future stuff. I thought it was really cute. I just don't have any clue as to what Deku is giving to Ochako. It looks like it's some sort of mattress thing, but I doubt a mattress is going to fit in there. And a mattress isn't something you really like. You don't really buy a girl that you're not going out with, or at least seeing. So I'm not sure what that is. It seems to be some sort of food stuff. And Ochako was actually very, very surprised and very kind of blown away by all the food that she'd seen at the beginning of the chapter. And she buys him a little All Might kind of doll thing, which I thought was super cute and actually very, very nice, because we know how Deku's like. We then see Eddie holding up freaking Cloud's sword, and basically all the festivities and all that shit have gone down. So then everyone's clearing up, or it seems to be Jiro, Eagle Dude, Deku, and Bakugo. And then we see, this is the part of the chapter where I was like, oh shit, things are actually going to go down. And I knew this was going to happen as soon as I saw Shoto pop up. He comes up and he's like, if you've got nowhere else to go, both of you, because Best Jeanist is missing and Night Eye is very dead. He's like, why don't you guys come with me and intern with the current number one hero? I was like, oh shit, this is actually super dope. So now not only are we getting this kind of the underlying idea of who the spy is. We know that these internships are being forced now by the Public Safety Commission. But now we're getting the number one hero possibly going to train up Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto, which is cool. I mean, like with Todoroki, Shoto, all that good stuff. We know there's going to be some good training there from a father-son perspective. But also Endeavor has cooled down a lot since, being his abusive, bad dad self. And I think he could really, really help with someone like Bakugo, seeing as Endeavor was a very, very explosive, volatile character as well. And now he's in his old age, he's cooling off a little bit. because he knows he was wrong to act like that, and he knows he was wrong to engage with the media like that, all that good stuff. But that's why he's currently on the rise, and he's gonna be on the rise, I think, as a hero. He is the number one, so you can't really go beyond that. But I think he would be a really good learning influence on, or teaching influence on Bakugo, seeing as their characters do relate a bit. And I think Bakugo, seeing he does have an explosive quirk, could learn a lot from someone who is essentially fire, you know. And then we have Deku, who I think I think Endeavor might actually does Endeavor already know? I don't think Endeavor knows that but that Deku inherited the One for All quirk. But I think once he starts, teaching him, if he does, and he looks at what Deku is able to do, I think he'll clock very, very quickly that, dude, that you're using my rival's quirk. What the hell's going on? And I think Deku might have to come clean about it and be like, All Might gave me his quirk. And I think Endeavor might have a lot to teach, from studying All Might, from being around All Might, from knowing who All Might is, all these years that All Might was the number one. I think he'll have a lot to teach Deku about, and maybe he might even add his own twist to Deku, giving him kind of like this Endeavor / All Might combination vibe, which would be really, really cool. But that's how the chapter ends. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cool. Like, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Let me know what you guys thought of the chapter. And I think that is about it. So I will see you guys in a bit.